Red Kangaroo boxing more than just a fight. The Red Kangaroo is instantly recognizable as an emblem of Australia, and those dramatic boxing matches between males are a common sight. However, what appears to be simple aggression is actually a very intricate display of dominance and communication. These boxing contests rarely result in serious injury. They're more like elaborate posturing rituals. Males will stand tall, using their powerful tails for balance as they spar with each other, often attempting to knock the opponent off balance without landing a decisive blow. Stick around. You're about to learn something wild. But first, tap like and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next mind. The size difference between kangaroos can be significant sometimes. You'll see a much smaller male challenging a larger, established leader. These challenges aren't always about winning. They can also serve to assess an individual's strength and position within the hierarchy. It's a complex system of social signaling that goes far beyond what we typically associate with fighting. You've probably seen it in nature documentaries, a male red kangaroo boxing another. It's an iconic image and often presented as a fight for mating rights. However, the reality is far more nuanced. While displays of aggression certainly play a role, these boxing matches are primarily about establishing dominance within a mob. Think of it less like a tournament to win a female, and more like a series of tests, subtle challenges to determine who holds sway amongst the males. Each punch, each shove reinforces or questions their position in the social hierarchy. Sometimes, a particularly assertive male will initiate these sparring sessions with others lower on the pecking order, simply to remind them of his status. It's a constant negotiation, a silent language communicated through physical displays. Red Kangaroo boxing displays are truly fascinating to witness. They aren't just random fights, they're carefully choreographed contests that escalate in intensity. It usually begins with a subtle display of dominance, perhaps a male standing taller than the other or flexing his muscles. Then comes posturing, stamping their feet, snorting, and taking exaggerated steps forward. This can go on for quite some time as each kangaroo assesses the other's strength and resolve. If neither backs down, things escalate to gentle shoving and pushing. Eventually, a full-blown punching and kicking contest can erupt, with both kangaroos delivering blows aimed at the body or head. It's remarkable how complex these interactions are, serving as a way for males to establish hierarchy and compete for mating opportunities. It's fascinating to observe kangaroo sparring matches. They aren't just random brawls. These contests are often highly ritualized displays of dominance. You'll notice kangaroos will posture and vocalize before engaging in any physical contact, almost like a carefully choreographed dance. They box, kick, and shove, but remarkably, serious injuries are rare. It's not about inflicting harm, it's more about establishing who is the stronger individual within the mob. This demonstrates a level of control and communication that's truly impressive. They're using these encounters to signal their strength and resolve disputes without escalating them into something dangerous. The kangaroos essentially agree on the rules, ensuring everyone walks away relatively unscathed. Size really is everything when it comes to red kangaroo dominance displays. You'll notice that larger males almost always initiate challenges against smaller ones. This isn't about brute force, it's a sophisticated system designed to minimize serious injury. A dominant male will often posture and box with a smaller rival, establishing his superiority without a full-blown, exhausting fight. Prolonged fights can be incredibly damaging. Kangaroos have powerful legs and sharp claws, so this sizing strategy helps prevent those more dangerous encounters. Essentially, the bigger kangaroo acts as a deterrent, quickly resolving disputes and maintaining order within the mob. It's an incredible example of how evolution shapes behavior to maximize survival. It's easy to think of kangaroo boxing as just a display of brute strength, but there's more strategy involved than meets the eye. They frequently use their forelimbs, those powerful front legs, not necessarily to deliver direct punches, but rather for pushing and shoving. This is a deliberate attempt to disrupt their opponent's balance. Imagine trying to maintain your footing while someone constantly pushes against you. It throws off your coordination. Kangaroos will utilize this tactic to gain an advantage in a confrontation, creating openings or simply tiring out the other animal. While we often see male red kangaroos engaged in impressive boxing matches, it's a common misconception that they're the only ones participating. Female kangaroos can, and sometimes do, get involved too. These sparring sessions aren't about dominance displays like you typically see with males. Instead, they usually arise from competition over essential resources, things like prime grazing spots or access to fresh water. It's fascinating to observe how even female kangaroos will assert themselves when the stakes are high, utilizing those powerful legs and strong forelimbs to defend their claim. It's fascinating to see how young kangaroos learn and develop. That boxing behavior we observed isn't always about asserting dominance. Often, it's a playful interaction between joeys. You can think of it as kangaroo roughhousing. They use these mock sparring matches to practice their coordination, honing their balance and reflexes with each little punch and shove. This play also serves as an important social learning experience. It helps them understand boundaries within the mob, learn how to navigate relationships, and develop communication skills through physical interaction. It's a vital part of their growth and socialization. Red kangaroo boxing isn't a constant occurrence. It ebbs and flows based on several key environmental factors. When populations are dense, meaning lots of kangaroos competing for the same space, we see more frequent sparring matches. It's essentially a way to establish dominance and reduce conflict. Resource availability also plays a role. If food is scarce, competition intensifies, and that can trigger increased boxing behavior as males vie for access to grazing areas. The age structure of the mob matters too. Younger kangaroos often practice their boxing skills with older, more experienced individuals, while dominant males might engage in serious bouts to maintain their position within the hierarchy. These interactions aren't always aggressive, though sometimes they're playful displays of strength and agility. It's easy to see two red kangaroos boxing and think of it as pure aggression, a violent display of dominance. But the reality is far more complex than that. These boxing matches, which often involve standing upright and striking at each other's chests, are rarely about serious injury. They are frequently part of a sophisticated social dance, a way for males to establish hierarchy without necessarily causing lasting harm. Younger kangaroos, in particular, use these encounters as practice, honing their fighting skills and testing the boundaries with older, more established individuals. Sometimes it's just playful sparring, two males engaging in a mock battle, essentially learning about each other's strengths and weaknesses. Even experienced fighters will often moderate their blows, signaling their intentions and preventing escalation. Ultimately, these behaviors demonstrate how what appears to be aggression can serve multiple purposes: communication, social negotiation, and even a form of play within the kangaroo community.